putting together the face, taking all of the components, the eyes, the nose, the lips, putting them into a portrait, it gets a little bit tricky, okay? So if you need to refer back to these worksheets that give you the eyes, the nose, and the lips, they'll be helpful for this section, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to draw a human head, okay? If you are drawing a person, you begin with a circle and a faceplate. Okay? Now, that doesn't look like much right there, but that is the key to drawing any portrait, okay? Or any face, actually, okay? So a circle and a faceplate from the side would look like that, okay? So if you were to add the neck, the nose, the eyes, the mouth, ears, a sweet mullet, okay? That's how you would draw a person from the side, okay? If you're drawing a person that's 3/4 view, okay, so I'm looking straight at you, this would be a 3/4 view, this would be a profile. So that's my profile. Here's my 3/4 view. Circle faceplate, okay, same thing. Your central axis, we'll talk about that here in a second. Your ears, your nose would be here, your eyes, your mouth, another sweet mullet, okay? So that's how you would draw a person from a 3/4 view, okay? So understanding that when you draw a portrait, even if it's straight on, you're gonna be using the circle faceplate method, okay? Now a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need to do it, I can do it, I can just do it freehand. Well, then they end up with something that looks like that. Yes, you put big eyes on that and you have an alien, okay? So follow this step and it'll look right, okay? So here we go. So I'm gonna start with a circle. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, okay? It's as close as you can, but you're not gonna see any of these lines. You're gonna end up drawing over top of it, shading over top of it. You're not gonna see this, okay? So, as you can see, mine is very sketchy, very loose. It'll work, okay? Next, I'm gonna take my faceplate. My faceplate is gonna merge out of that circle. Come down, something like that, okay? Circle, faceplate. Okay. Next, top of the head, bottom of the chin. I'm going to get rid of this section so it doesn't confuse you. But that is the shape of my head there. Top of the head, bottom of the chin. I'm going to show you something that a lot of people don't pick up on. Usually whenever somebody says, hey, where are the eyes? Most people will put them up here. Okay? Not thinking anything of it. Keep in mind, up here, that would mean that your brain has to be above your eyes. That makes sense. That means that your brain would be really small. Okay, and that might explain some things for some of us, but we need to make sure that we're following the correct way. When you look straight on at somebody, and this is one of the reasons why I went into teaching, because I can show this, okay? Because I don't have hair. Okay, so when you are drawing, yes, I look weird without glasses. Okay, top of the head, bottom of the chin, 1/2 the distance is your eye level. Okay. Now most people, they have hair that's dragging that up, and that's why we usually draw the eyes up here when we first sketch. So drawing a bald person is pretty simple here. Top of the head, bottom of the chin, boom, right there. Okay. So glasses back on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here to there and divide it by 2. So from there to there, oh boy, having to do math. 17.5 divided by 2. Oh my goodness, having to do math in front of students on camera, that is really tough. And yes, all of you are sitting at home thinking, Robinson, how can you not get this? It's so simple. Understand, I am an artist, not a mathematician. Okay, so 8.75 is what I have. Hopefully I'm correct and somebody doesn't check that and be like, my goodness, my art teacher is a moron whenever it comes there. Yeah, I think I got it right. That's sweet. Okay, so half the distance from there to there, or half the distance from here to here, that is my eye level. Understand that, okay? So make sure that you understand that half equals the eye level. Okay. Oh, give it my math. All right, so from here to here, so from my eye level to my chin, 1/2 that distance is gonna be the bottom of my nose, okay? So doing that, dividing it by 2, that is gonna be my nose. Okay, so that's the bottom of the nose. Next thing is 1/2 to 1/3, just a little bit above the 1/2 mark. Okay, so there's 1/2 to 1/3 there. Okay, so I'm going to say right there is the half. I'm going to say it just a little bit above. That is going to be the middle of my mouth. Okay. okay? Now the last thing that we want to plot is from here to here. Now lucky for me, this is 10 inches, okay? So mine is 10 inches, yours will be a little bit different, okay? But as we've talked before in the pairs of eyes video, if you are looking straight on at somebody, so I'm gonna try to look straight on in the camera here. When you look straight on at somebody, your face, okay, is 5 eyes wide, okay? Understanding that is crucial, okay? Again, glasses off, kind of freaky. So here we go, so 5 eyes wide. 1 eye distance, obviously, 1 eye distance, obviously, the space between your eyes is 1 eye distance. When I'm looking straight on, from the edge of this eye to the edge of my head is 1 eye distance. When you add all of that up, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your face, 5 eyes wide. Understanding that will make for your person not to look freakish, okay? So, from there to there, I'm going to make 2. Okay. Now, what made that easy for me is because mine was 10 inches. What you're going to have to do is take whatever your measurement is. Mine was 10. You're going to divide it by 5. Okay. So just make sure that you're doing that. And even I could figure that out on the fly without having to do all this. It's 2 inches, at least for me it was. Okay. So 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. I'm going to fit in between there and there, there and there. After you do that, you can erase, and even erase, but you might as well leave those in there because that's where you're going to add in your eyes. So using that line as your central axis for your eyes, that will be helpful. Okay. Now, if you want to understand how to draw the eyes, go back and watch that video that shows exactly how to get the proportions right and everything like that, and look at that worksheet. It will be very helpful. So this is right here, with pupils smack dab in the center. Same thing. Okay. Now, the last thing that we did not plot just yet is the central axis, and that is crucial to drawing your lips and drawing your nose. So having this right here, the halfway point between here and here, I can measure it out, it'd be 1 inch. So from here to here, I'm going to draw that line going all the way down, and it's going to look something like that. So that is going to be the central axis, the middle of my nose, that I will build the nose. And if you want to understand how to draw the nose, go back and watch those videos. It'll do a much better job concentrating on the nose. So it's a dippy part, snot flap, that's how you draw the nose, okay? The Cupid's bow, slope, slope, bottom lip. Try to do it better than Robinson just did right there, okay? And pay attention to that shape that's there, okay? Now, you're drawing a portrait. If you're drawing a portrait, unless they're a freak and they don't have eyebrows, okay? You don't want to draw like freaks, is basically what I'm saying, okay? You're going to add in your eyebrows. Now your eyebrows are going to be right there, and just see them as a shape, okay? Something like that. And then add in some value. Try to do a little bit better job than I did, and understand that this section right here, is a recessed area. That's your eye socket, okay? And then your brow comes up. With your brow coming up, you need to have some space between your eyebrow and your eye. Okay? So eyebrows need to come up a little bit higher. You don't have to make them angry, you don't have to make them sad, you don't have to make them depressed, you just have to make eyebrows, okay? All right, so one other thing that you need that a lot of people forget about are your ears. So your ears begin at your eye level, okay? That's why glasses work. So you begin there, and I've got to prepare you, okay? Your ears are huge, okay? Most people don't realize how big their ears are until they like stop and they look at it, okay? Or whenever they lose their hair, they begin to realize, my goodness, my ears are huge. So that's basically what I'm going to show you right now. Ears begin here, they go up a little bit above your eye level, obviously, okay? And then they come down. Now, this is where it all gets screwed up and where everybody gets freaked out. That right there is the bottom of my earlobe. If you can track it across, it's the bottom of my nose, okay? So when you draw them the first time, you get kind of freaked out, but yes, that's how big your ears are, okay? This right here is a little nubbins. There's no real set way to draw it. Just need to look at somebody and see the little cracks and crevices. Everybody's got different ears, kind of like a fingerprint, but everybody's got different ears. So just add in a couple lines, a little bit of shading, and it'll go a long way. All right, so that's my ear. And I would want to make a mirror image over here, but I'm going to change that a little bit because I'm going to start drawing hair. Now, the two characteristics that make it look like the person that you are trying to draw, those two characteristics are not the nose, it's not the eyes, it is the jawline and the hair, okay? So with this, I'm going to start with the hair first. So the hair is going to be done in two parts. You will draw the inside contour. Now, what the inside contour looks like is where scalp or where skin meets hair. Okay, so this is my hairline coming up here, and I'm going to have a part, something like that, and I'm going to have it come down like so. Okay, so that's my inside contour. Now, your hair comes up above your scalp. Okay, it's not a hair hat. So like right now, it looks like a really weird hair hat because it's stuck up against there. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to add in a little bit more height with the outside contour. So this was the inside contour. This is the outside contour. So now outside contour is going to come down something like that. And it's going to come down and do something like this. Okay? So now all of a sudden I turn this person into a woman, but that's good. All right. So after I have that, I can get rid of that scalp or the top of my head. And remember what I said about having it in a perfect circle? You don't need it. Okay. So that is my person. I need to get a little bit better understanding that this is hair. Now, don't be one of those people like, I'm going to draw every strand of hair, okay? That would be moronic. What you're going to do is get a couple lines, get a couple lines, just to get the idea of, hey, there's a part right here, and it's creating a dark canyon as it goes toward that part. So by adding in that shading, maybe a couple lines here, maybe a couple lines here. Maybe she's got a little bit, a couple stragglers here. That's fine also. Okay. Now this hair is going to carry down here, and I'm going to have it carry down there. And the last thing is going to give description is not just going to, you know, your bottom jawline is usually not just a perfect U shape. Okay. It is going to have a little bit of an angle. Okay. So I'm going to draw this. You know, I'm going to try with the purple so that you can see what I'm talking about. This jawline here is going to come down, angle in a little bit, and then come to there. And then I'm going to make it symmetrical. Okay, so it's going to be even on this side. It's going to be a mirror image on this side, over here as it is on this side. So let's try as best I can to make that. Might be running into some in there. Okay, so getting that understanding of the jawline, okay, is going to get more understanding of who it is that you are drawing. Okay, so adding in that will be crucial to show characteristic of who it is that you're trying to draw. Okay. Last thing, and this is one of those things that I'm always amazed at. Your neck is not this. Okay, your neck is not this, because that would be stupid. Okay, if your neck is that thin, okay, stiff breeze and your head's just going to wobble right off. Okay, but you don't want to go all Barry Bonds linebacker, okay, where it's coming out doing that, all right? So it's not too thick. Let's go with the Goldilocks method. Just right, I would say right about here and here. Again, symmetrical. So that's your neck that will then fan out. This muscle there, it's going to fan out. And then it's going to go to your shoulders. And your shoulders are probably going to run off your paper. Okay, so it's going to run off the side of your paper. Adding in the hair a little bit more. Okay. Adding in, and this is important here, put a shirt on the person. Okay. What in the world's going on in Robinson's class? Okay. So adding a shirt on there, that will be helpful. And you can get rid of this stuff so it feels like it is actual hair. Hanging down. Get a couple strokes to get the idea. And you now have a person following the proportions and everything like that. You should be able to get a decent looking human being. Okay? So that is how you draw the human portrait. Okay? Pay attention if you're trying to make it look like somebody in specifically or whatever. Really pay attention to the nose, obviously. Okay? And pay attention to the hair. That is going to be important. And the jawline, figuring out that jawline. Those are the characteristics that are going to stand out when you're trying to make it look like the person that you're trying to draw. Okay, but if you're just trying to draw a basic setup, just that circle faceplate and working from there, paying attention to the proportions that I showed. Okay? If you have any questions, email me or Google Meet, however you want to, and I'll try to answer them. So good luck.